Okay, today we are finishing up section 5.5 with our product to sum and sum to product formulas. So go ahead and copy those out of your book, page 415 and 416, into your trig booklet. Alright, rewrite the product as a sum or difference. So I'm trying to go from a product to a sum or difference. So that's going to be my product to sum formulas. This is cosine times sine. So that's the last one that said cosine u times sine v equals, and then it was 1/2 sine, of u plus v minus sine of u minus v. Okay, so for this is going to be equal to 1/2 of sine, and then I'm going to do u plus v, so 5x plus 4x is 9x, minus sine, and then I'm going to subtract them. 5x minus 4x is 1x. To make it a complete, in this case, difference, since it's subtraction, I do need to distribute that 1/2. So I have 1/2 sine of 9x minus 1/2 sine of x. And that's it. Find the exact value of cosine of 195 degrees plus cosine of 105 degrees. So this is a cosine plus a cosine, neither of which is on my unit circle. And I know I'm using my sum to product or product to sum formulas. That would be sum to product because it has the cosine plus the cosine, which if you look at your booklet, cosine of x plus cosine of y equals 2 times cosine, then it's supposed to be x plus y over 2, and then cosine of x minus y over 2. So for this is going to be 2 times cosine, and I'm supposed to add these two. So 195 plus 105 would be 300 over 2. Oops. Times cosine, and then I'm going to subtract those two, which would be 90 over 2. So this is really 2 times cosine of 150 degrees times cosine of 45 degrees, which both of those are on my unit circle, so I can actually do that, and I know I need to since it says find the exact value. Cosine of 150 degrees is negative radical 3 over 2. Cosine of 45 degrees is radical 2 over 2. So when I multiply these, I end up with negative radical 6 over 2. You could type this into your calculator, get that decimal. Type this into your calculator, cosine of 195 degrees plus cosine of 105 degrees, and get that decimal, and they should be the same. Do make sure your calculator's in degree mode for this problem. Find all solutions in the interval from 0 to 2 pi. Alright, so yes, these are both the same trig function, but 5x and 3x, those are different angles. So maybe there's a way to combine these or something. Oh, this is a sine plus a sine, which if I look at my sum to product, that's the first one, that tells me I can rewrite this as 2 times sine, and I'm supposed to add the 2, and then divide by 2, times cosine, and I'm supposed to subtract the 2, and divide by 2. So that's really 2 times sine of, it'd be 8x over 2, so 4x, times cosine of 5x minus 3x is 2x divided by 2, which would be x equals 0. Now I have things multiplied to equal 0. So I could go ahead and divide by 2 first if I wanted to. I could keep the 2 as part of it. I would say let's just go ahead and get rid of the 2. So divide everything by 2, or both sides by 2, which gives me sine 4x times cosine x equals 0. So sine 4x equals 0, cosine x equals 0. Here, because this is a 4x, I'm still going to say where does sine equals 0, which would be here at 0 and at pi. So I'm going to now have, well, that means 4x equals 0 plus 2 in pi, and 4x equals pi plus 2 in pi. Over here, cosine x equals 0, so cosine equals 0, up here at pi over 2, and down here at 3 pi over 2. So I have x equals pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Okay, when I solve these, here I'm going to get x equals 0 divided by 4 is 0, so plus n pi, or sorry, 2 n pi over 4 is really just going to be n pi over 2. Here I'm going to have x equals pi over 4 plus n pi over 2. I need to get all of my answers between 0 and 2 pi. So this particular one is going to give me 0, pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2. This one's going to give me pi over 4, plus a half would be 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. I do notice that this pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 I ended up listing again over here. I only need to list them once when I list out all of my answers. So I could just say all of this. Oops. I should have 8 answers there though. Alright, last problem. Verify the identity. No, I cannot just take this and say, well, sine over cosine is tangent, plus this would be tangent of 3t. 1, that's not proper math. You cannot do that when there's 2 terms. And even if I did, I could not add those to get tangent of 2t. So again, cannot do that. What I need to do is rewrite my sine plus sine as a product and my cosine plus cosine as a product. So sine plus sine turns into 2 sine, and then you're supposed to add the 2, which would be 4t, and divide by 2, so 2t, times cosine, and I'm supposed to subtract the 2, which would be negative 2t, and divide by 2, which would just be negative t. On the bottom, a cosine plus a cosine turns into 2 times cosine of their sum divided by 2 times cosine of their difference divided by 2. Okay, here 2's cancels, cosine of negative t's cancel, so I'm left with sine of 2t over cosine of 2t. Sine over cosine of the same angle is going to be tangent of 2t. So I have tangent of 2t equals tangent of 2t.